Hi guys, Mark's here, and today it's episode 5 in the Rally Tower build series. And today we're gonna get the high beam lamps mounted, or the position of it and so on, the bottom and the top one. So the brackets have the holes to sit in, or the lamps to sit in. And we're gonna try and figure out where the carburetor base plate or holder is supposed to sit, and also the speedo mount. So let's get to it. So we have the headlights, of course, we have the fixture to it, and this is supposed to sit in here center. So we just gonna need and try out where the position is correct for that one. And to do that, I would need to mount the headlight, of course, and see that what position it should sit at, host the cable, so to speak. So I was thinking first that it should sit all the way back here, and that would be optimal. Might need to place this a bit forward, and I need to measure the distance. So I marked it out with my center punch. Now I'll just drill a little pilot hole here, and then a 8mm. Easy does it. There we go, it looks straight. So let's try it out. So it's in. It was just the hole was a bit too tight, but I wanted to have support of the rear here, so the light cannot shift sideways. I would not need to adjust it inside, only up and down. So this gives it the best kind of support there. So let's put this in, bolts for it. And then to drill this one, it's a bit more fiddly. I would need to remove the screws or the bolts that holds this one after I marked the placement. And most likely, before I do that, I will actually file off this part that's sticking out, because it was, the little spacers I made was not made perfect in length, just because I didn't know how long it needed to be. So I have some extra, and that needs to be filed off. So it's, perfect square to this surface here. So as you can see, I can tilt it up and downwards. I don't need to do any adjustments. So this looks to be perfect. There we go. That looks good. There we go, guys. It wasn't that hard. The only thing that is a bit tricky is to get to the nut up here. But it's a 13th socket, and I could, get in there with a jointed, one of these jointed extensions. So that's no problem. Worst case scenario, if you have one of these with, more fine tooth socket, you can move it around pretty easily. So now these are in, and I can adjust them as I want. And yeah, it looks pretty freaking cool, I might say. So next step would to be to address the carburetor mount, and for that I need to replace a few screws. So before I actually put the carburetor mount on, this is a little comparison of where the carburetor was positioned before, and you can see we moved it forward quite a lot, and maybe up a little bit, but mostly forward. So I could actually put the mount here and let it be a bit higher up, but not a lot. It's still, you know, a lot more forward than before, so it will give me a much better side picture of the carburetor when standing up. I think I could make this a bit shorter up here, cut off a part and you know, just have it you know, about the same height, because I think the more forward position will help a lot. I could also, if I do a next version of this, move this section a bit more inwards, right? So I can have a little more leaned front window here. The only limitation is the speedo. If you want to have the speedo here, you're stuck. So if you want to really do a compact rally tower, you would need to have the speedo on the handlebars. Then you can go up much tighter here and maybe make it not stick out as much, right? But that's not the point here. The point now is to have it a lot more forward for ease of viewing the carburetor, roadbook, or whatever it is. So just so you know, this is how it looks. So I finally figured out the displacement of the center point. So here's the carburetor mount, and yeah, I had to go by this, of course, and I had my already sawed out template, so it was easy then just to check or put out and mark the center point on this, and then put it on here, add the screws onto my plate, and then mark the center points, draw a line, and then go 16 millimeters out from each side. That's the center of the two plates on the tower. And then I will drill 6 holes here, so I can attach it with six thread in screws, the ones I have, the threaded sleeves that I can screw into the plastic. So that's what I will do right now. I will drill the pilot hole for this first, then I will attach it to the tower and drill the pilot holes down there, and then I will go up in diameter for the inserts. So I chopped up the top a bit, moved everything down, put a base plate here that I will put the standard measurements for. I don't remember what the standard is for these attachment points, but it's 38 millimeters times 30. So I will put that here in the center, so you have a one of those fixed mounting points with the correct, I think it's a M6 thread, and I will you know, put the thread thingy down here, so you will be able to touch your attach your device or anything like that, and or add other screw holes here as well. So what I have done now is that I have changed the tower a little bit, and I have installed these newer type of screw inserts or threaded inserts. These are M5 inserts. They are more heavy duty than the other ones I use, which are those. Those have a tendency to crack. You know, they are made for wood, and it's not as you know, heavy duty. So these one are perfect. I have the normal pattern here with the 30 times 38, and then this is my own just for attaching whatever, and it's 80 times 70. So if I have a ram mount or anything, I can attach it here. I can attach my little carburetor plate on this one. So many options, right? So you can attach whatever you want. I did change the look a little bit, so I did slot down here and added this wider plate instead of having you know, everything drilled in here. And these are actually wooden screws, which are about, I think they are 30 millimeter long, and they are perfect to attach this one. I actually accidentally think I drilled one a bit skew, so I feel I have a small little bump here, but I'm sure that's nothing to worry about. On the other side everything is fine, so it's just that screw. So well, it looks like a really, you know, we're getting somewhere. Now I will just look at the speedo mount and how to attach that one. Now we're going to figure out how to get this in place, and the best way to do this is really you have to unravel the cable from where it usually sit and get it around the suitable other cable here. And what I will need to do is, it will run here, it cannot run above. On the standard, I think on the OEM one, it goes in on the side here behind, because it's an opening. I could do that, but I'm not really sure, because it will not be that easy to get the tower off. So what I will have to do is to go in here. So I will do a little angled cut seen from above like this, that will go in on one side, so the cable can actually be routed on the outside, and then make its way in to the, or underneath the display, so for the speedo. Optimal way would be to put it actually on top and down, but it's a bit of a problem, because it's the bracket where you put the bolts through, they stick up quite high, and it would mean that to install this one you would have to do either way of the handlebars, and then you would have to secure it every time with a zip tie. So I'm not sure that's the best way, but I will check. I will remove the speedo, which I now attached here. Nothing down below here, and I might actually do drill holes through here and have a little thing, you know, just a zip tie that you pulls over here and hold it in place, or I will drill holes down here and, you know, attach it with screws, but it's a bit of a problem to get to those screws, so we'll see. Right now we have sorted out the speedo, the cable, everything is fine. You can move the handlebars, nothing is touching, rubbing or whatnot. I just put on the rad guard again, the lower side panel and the left fairing, just because I want to have the distance from here to here, so I can have a support bracket put there. And I have these round bar P300 that I can use, and it's you know, maybe I could make a really easy other one instead with just the 5mm P300 and bend it so I have like a L shape or a U shape that goes here and there, because this one do not need a lot of support. It doesn't, you know, hurt if it's a bit flexible here. So that might be a better idea, just to have a support here for the side fairing. I also want, because now when you remove the inner cover, that has a little splash protection as well built in. I will show you guys here. So I have it here. So as it's mounted like this inside here, you have that rear part there that prohibits, you know, dirt and water and so on to just splash right in there at the ABS and so on, or the ABS motor and system. So I might do the same thing with P300, block it off somehow, but we'll see. That's, you know, not pre one. We will have to sort this stuff out first, and I have not decided if I'm gonna use the round bar yet. I need to use the round bar up here, most likely drill through both sides and just push it through, and then attach it somehow, either by, you know, putting a screw straight in, or I just take small pieces and have a threaded rod that goes through both of them, like a M6 or something like that, and I can drill and thread the rod. That might work because it's pretty coarse threads, so we'll see. So what I done now is I made that little support here, and I took, you know, my leftovers I I don't need anything super fancy. What I did was I cut a 15-degree angle with my regular saw, and then I drilled you know, straight or parallel or whatever you call it to that angle in, and I threaded that hole to M5 because the standard bolts are M5 and it's really solid. You know, I haven't drilled a hole here. I will do the same thing. I have drilled and threaded on the rear side, so this support bracket will be screwed in from the other side, so that means I need to take the tower apart anyways to do that. So that will be it for episode 5. So we've done a lot, you know. We have sorted out all the things on the tower, put a new type of plate here for you know, installing any type of accessory you want. I also made the side supports for the fairings, and they are going to be attached. In next episode, I think we're ready to start working on the wiring and the cables, and when I've done so, or when I think I'm ready for it, you know, we will put most of the cables and everything inside the tower, so that we don't have a rat's nest outside or on the sides. And we will have a USB charger here that I ordered, so I think I will not use the round one. We'll see, maybe I'll use the round one. We'll have my ABS off switch here. We'll have switches on the other side of the tower for, you know, turning off the individual high beams and also the low beams, so I can switch it off if I want, or if I just want the wide floodlight when having high beam on, I can have that and whatnot. So there's a lot of wiring that needs to be done, and some of it is not the easiest thing, as you know, the controls on the bike is through ground instead of plus. So we'll sort that out. So hope you enjoyed this video, maybe a bit too long, who knows. And you know, like and subscribe, and take care guys. Don't do anything stupid like I do, and cheerios, bye bye.